back to the Daily Grind, and y'all know we gotta talk about this. But before we do, make sure you hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting B-word, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Holy flying flipping flapjacks, full-time family. This is low-key crazy. I did not expect this, especially not so soon. Amazon will start selling UFC pay-per-view fights as soon as this Saturday. This was just announced today, and they're already about to sell UFC 222 this week. I mean, just me, I would have expected, if we heard about an Amazon and UFC partnership, you know, maybe it to enact in like a month, maybe start selling pay-per-views in a month, like a big event, UFC 223, you know, but no. It's announced, and you can buy UFC 222, Cris Cyborg versus Yana Kunitskaya this Saturday on any device that you can watch Amazon Prime videos. Now, what this means is you'll be able to buy UFC fights, including UFC 222, directly through Amazon. You won't have to pay through any existing relationships with cable or satellite providers like Comcast or Dish, or watch on a cable channel like Fox Sports 1. You don't even need an Amazon Prime account to watch. It only costs you $64.99, and you'll be able to watch it on all the same devices you can watch Amazon Prime videos. So that means you don't have to have Fox Sports 1, you don't have to have cable, you don't have to have Amazon Prime, you don't have to have nothing. All you have to have is a smartphone or a computer or anything that you can, a tablet, anything you can watch Amazon Prime videos on. You can now order the UFC. Now, what this means clearly is the UFC has a deal with Amazon Prime where they probably got a pretty huge check. And what I'm automatically curious of is I wonder if the fighters get any percentage of this, or if this is just another thing like the TV deal where fighters are kind of just, you know, left out as far as, you know, the NBA players and stuff like that. They get 50% of the TV deal revenue. Fighters are at a whopping 0. So they might get 0 of the TV revenue. They might, I don't know how much the UFC fighters are getting for this Amazon deal, but I would expect, I mean, this is just me, like, maybe champions get a little bit of a bump. Like, this is groundbreaking. So for Cris Cyborg and Yana Kunitskaya to be fighting on the first ever Amazon available event, I just wonder if, like, at least the pay-per-view fighters might get some type of pay bump, an Amazon, you know, bonus. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I'm just curious because I know that the fighters currently aren't getting their fair share of the TV deal. But that, we'll leave that. You know, Leslie Smith has that Project Spearhead coming up in Fighters Union. You know, there's been efforts to organize fighters unions, which is part of the reasons they don't have protections and stuff like that right now that other sports have. But until that, the UFC might have just, you know, cashed out as far as Amazon is concerned. Now, Amazon wouldn't really go into the specifics on the deals. Amazon declined to discuss the deal terms for the UFC arrangement, though it's likely Amazon will get the same cut that cable providers normally get in these kinds of deals. When Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao, for example, the cable providers took around 30 or 40% of the subscription revenue, according to the New York Times. Now, that wasn't a UFC fight, but the UFC does work deals in the same way. So they're saying the cable providers took about 30 or 40%. So that means they're saying Amazon might get 30 to 40%. So with that being said, I mean, the UFC and Amazon have reached a deal. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't have much to do, if anything, with the UFC's Fox negotiations. I mean, I'm sure it might play a part, but that's, you know, not the same thing, because that's why ESPN, you used to see ESPN can, you know, show some fight footage. They talk about some fights. If you haven't realized, ESPN only talks about the pay-per-views, because, yeah, UFC had a deal with Fox, one of ESPN's competitors, but it didn't involve the pay-per-views. So that's why ESPN could still talk about pay-per-views, and they still did. But the Fox Sports 1 cards and the big Fox cards, ESPN never talked about. So these pay-per-views, you know, this just has to do with the pay-per-views, which is what anyone could really talk about anyway. So this doesn't have much to do with the Fox deal. We don't know what's going on with, we do know that the UFC and Fox, that deal is coming up, and the UFC is possibly in negotiations with other companies like Amazon to start showing, you know, probably, you know, the fight night cards and stuff like that. But with that being said, I'll keep you updated on that when we hear more about it. But for as of right now, Amazon is officially selling UFC pay-per-view fights starting this Saturday with UFC 222. That's pretty groundbreaking, man. That's pretty crazy. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.